Chelsea, now a global phenomenon. Big test for the New York Red Bulls. Jose Mourinho, the Chelsea coach, was pushed out of the way by the officials as they came out. I'm sure that his team will be no pushover. It is the New York Red Bulls against Chelsea in the International Champions Cup of 2015. Chelsea in action for the first time since returning from their summer vacations. One or two haven't had too much of a break. The likes of Cuadrado, who's been away with Colombia at the Copa America, also Radamel Falcao, another Colombian. And a huge night for some of the fresh-faced youngsters who are lining up here for the Red Bulls. Chelsea feeling very much at home. They're playing their anthem, The Liquidator, something that rings out around Stamford Bridge and is now ringing out around New Jersey. Robert Saviga is our referee. The preliminaries almost over. New York Red Bulls have had a busy week. An MLS fixture at the weekend, plus a cup tie which went to extra time and a penalty shootout yesterday afternoon. Coach Jesse Marsch has responded by naming a starting 11 short of regulars like Mike Grayler, Hector Sam and Bradley Wright Phillips, but including a host of B-team names, the youngest being 16-year-old Tyler Adams. Roy Miller and the goalkeeper Karl Reinich providing the experience. Chelsea, the Premier League champions, preparing in Montreal. Coach Jose Mourinho has named a strong lineup. Victor Moses gets a chance to impress after 2 years away on loan at Stoke and Liverpool, while Bertrand Traoré, highly regarded striker, is back from a spell on loan in the Netherlands. No place for Diego Costa, while Colombian Radamel Falcao has joined up with the squad. He is given more time to recover from the Copa America. In the absence of John Terry, who's on the bench, it's the Serb Branislav Ivanovic who wears the captain's armband this evening for Chelsea. Chelsea started all 38 games in the Premier League for Chelsea last season, along with John Terry and Eden Hazard, another one who is on the bench at the start, at least, for Chelsea. Those teams can make 11 substitutions in the ICC competition, but they have to be made at 3 different intervals. Manchester United have taken the chance to have a look at everybody. They've been making changes at half-time. It's meant that they've had wholesale changes at the interval. I suspect it might be a little bit different from Chelsea this evening. Jose Mourinho, who brought Chelsea to the United States back in 2004 when he took over for the first time, having won the UEFA Champions League with Porto. 18 assists for Cesc Fabregas last season, the most in the Premier League.
Let's go.
Tyler Adams now, just 16 years of age. Look out for him tonight, the number 66 for the Red Bulls. Chelsea with a chance to get down to business. Chelsea get the ball rolling on their season, the first of their pre-season fixtures game in New Jersey against the New York Red Bulls. Other tests to come against Paris Saint-Germain in Charlotte. They take on Barcelona then in Washington. Return to London and to Stamford Bridge to take on Fiorentina in their final fixture in the American leg, if you can call it that, of the ICC. Andy Hinchcliffe is alongside me, and Andy can be sure that Jose Mourinho will be watchful from the start. He's trying to play it down. He's made the point that, you know, it's all about preparation, but this will give him a good opportunity to have a look at the likes of Bertrand Traoré, who's back from his loan spell in the Netherlands, and also Victor Moses, who's been away now for 2 years.
Absolutely, the quality in this Chelsea squad, you don't get too many opportunities. When they come along, doesn't matter what stage of the season it is, doesn't matter about the opposition, you've got to try and take that opportunity, and Mourinho is a demanding manager. I expect Chelsea here to dominate possession with the experienced players they've got in their starting lineup. So for the Red Bulls, early on, it's all about organisation, communication. Don't let Chelsea through you in the first 10-15 minutes. If you do, Chelsea could have a field day.
Red Bulls made a decent start to the ICC. Their results in the MLS count towards their points tally for this particular competition. They defeated the San Jose Earthquakes back in April, a 2-goal success. Drew subsequently against the LA Galaxy. Next for them is a fixture here against Benfica of Portugal. It should be a very different Red Bulls lineup. Such a demanding schedule for them this week.
Absolutely, you can understand why they've made so many changes, but just looking at the formation they've gone with here, okay, a lot of names we don't really know, but Christosonis, who's leading the line, he can't get isolated. That can happen when you play against good opposition. So those Red Bulls midfielders, when they're in possession, the ball goes up to the centre forward, they have to get up the field and support their strike and try and keep hold of the ball high up the field.
Christosonis, striker, has got some experience of European football. He did have a short spell in Iceland once upon a time. Moses under that. Now Obi Mikel. A lot of talk during the early part of the summer that John Obi Mikel might be leaving Chelsea, but Jose Mourinho has made it absolutely clear that if anything, he wants to strengthen his squad. John Stones, the Liverpool defender, with your former club, or one of your former clubs, Andy, is being touted as the next big money signing.
I think we're seeing it these days. Of course, attacking creative midfielders and goal scorers are at a premium, so you try and get hold of them, but quality defenders, certainly quality English defenders, there's not too many of them. If they come available, you've got to try and buy them.
Traoré to work the ball through towards Oscar. Brazilian missed a big chunk at the back end of last season. Fabregas. Now Ivanovic. Marsh, the Red Bulls coach, felt that the MLS fixture at the weekend took an awful lot out of his team, but they're determined to make an impression, the youngsters who he's been able to put out. There's Obikop, who was breaking through swiftly between the Chelsea back line.
It's intelligent attacking from Obikop. He's playing wide on this left-hand side, but when the opportunity arose here, he came in field, ran in between defenders and got slightly sandwiched here. I don't think there was a foul in there, just stumbled. Just an early warning sign to Chelsea that the Red Bulls can play and they will take their chances to push forward. Even the midfielders, wide midfielders, will take a chance and break forward.
Obikop, who only made his debut at the start of June in the MLS as a substitute. Young Cameroonian, 20 years of age. Part of the national setup for a time. He worked as an assistant to Bob Bradley. United States playing in Atlanta in the semi-final of the Gold Cup, the CONCACAF competition. Playing Jamaica today. Panama taking on Mexico in the other semi-final later on.
It's good to see the Red Bulls here. They're not sitting back and allowing Chelsea to play here. They're engaging them high up the field in the Chelsea half. There's what, 5 or 6 red and white shirts engaging that Chelsea back four, so they're being forced to play back to Courtois. It's exactly the plan. He kicks it long. The Red Bulls have a chance of picking up possession.
Forward by Courtois. different competition on the bench this season. Petr Cech having joined Arsenal. Chelsea deciding to go to Stoke City of the Premier League to bring in the Bosnia-Herzegovina goalkeeper, Begovic. And again, Sobukov is looking likely, finding plenty of room and plenty of width now, the Red Bulls.
We just talked about Tassonis leading the line and midfielders getting up in support of him. Exactly what happened there.
Sobukov's determination being rewarded now with a Red Bulls corner.
The ball went into the striker's feet and Leo Stoltz from midfield just went and helped him out. Then the ball went wide out to Obikop. We've seen with Obikop already. He will keep his width. He'll try and get crosses in as a genuine wide left-hand sided midfielder, or he'll break in field. So intelligent start from the Red Bulls.
Red Bulls doing their best to make this a big test for Chelsea. It's easy enough for Courtois, who's swift to get Chelsea moving now with Fabregas, and he's got options both right and left. Moses. Wonderful play by Moses, and a fine save by Koenisch. Well, the acceleration, the pace which took Chelsea from one end of the pitch to the other so swiftly then.
Oh, it's great work by Moses, the way he just shifts this ball from right to left. But the keeper, the one thing he does really well is stay on his feet. Doesn't go to ground too early. Doesn't matter what part of your body you save it with, just make the save. And Reinisch, well, he stood tall there. Very important stop.
Terrific save by Reinisch, who's number 2 at the Red Bulls to Luis Robles. Robles has been an ever-present in the MLS for the Red Bulls in the 2015 Eastern Conference season. They're in 3rd place. They're 6 points behind the leaders DC United. They've got 3 games in hand.
But that opportunity for Victor Moses, you see how quickly a quality side can break on you. As soon as Courtois caught the ball, Fabregas was on his way. He received the throw from Courtois. One pass out to Moses, suddenly they're straight at you. They're right at the heart of your defence. Within 4 or 5 seconds from Courtois catching it, Reinisch is having to make a save down the other end, and that's what the Red Bulls have to be careful of, how swiftly Chelsea can counter-attack.
Fabregas. Ivanovic. Former Chelsea favourite Frank Lampard is now in New York. He's with New York City. Succession of players have now moved from the Premier League to the United States. Some of them going to the Red Bulls. Tim Cahill, the former Everton and Australian striker. Thierry Henry, the French international, who was with Arsenal, of course. Put pressure on Ivanovic.
Well, Chelsea are being stretched here. They're pushing their 2 fullbacks forward, Azpilicueta and Ivanovic, and that's left them slightly vulnerable at the back. If the Red Bulls can break quickly, there's opportunity in the wide areas for them to get some joy.
Fabregas. Again. Now Miller. Azpilicueta. Fabregas. Fabulous pass by Fabregas to get Chelsea moving once more with Traoré. And that was an elaborate attempt to try and beat Reinisch, the 19-year-old. Again in France with Auxerre, but was on loan in the Netherlands to Vitesse Arnhem last season.
It's not easy for Roy Miller, the Red Bulls left-back, because playing against a player like Traoré has the ability to go down the outside to take you on, try and cross with his right foot, or just pop step inside there and take a shot on with his left foot. So as a fullback, you're not really sure what to do. You're not really sure which way to show a winger, because they have that ability, that good balance to go right or left.
It's been a struggle for some of the younger players at Chelsea. Often said, isn't it, that coaches and managers will just see how this move develops now for the Red Bulls. Knocked away by Cahill. It's often said that managers and coaches in the modern game like to rotate their squad because of the demands that their teams are put under. Kurtwell there was scrambling across his goal. They've impressed so far.
Well, they have, because they're pressing Chelsea high up the field. They're winning possession back in good areas. I think Courtois has this pretty much covered. Borges past Zouma, sometimes you can see it go through defenders or past them and catch a goalkeeper out, but Courtois' positioning there was good. It wasn't the cleanest strike really either.
Yeah, squad rotation. Just 24 players used by Chelsea last season. It's often been argued, isn't it, for young players coming through, there is a bit of a glass ceiling which they can't get beyond. Patrick Bamford, who had to play in the Championship with Middlesbrough, has now been loaned out to Crystal Palace. Part of his development, the fact that he's had a year in the Championship, now goes to a Premier League club, one of Chelsea's rivals, but not a direct rival at the top end of the Premier League.
I think it shows Chelsea's strength. Those 24 players you're talking about are all quality players. That's the problem probably at most clubs. You've got maybe, what, 15, 16 quality players, then there's an opportunity for youngsters to make up the squad and play in certain games. Not at Chelsea. Actually, every man is an international, and it's very, very difficult for those younger players coming through the academy and the development squads to get an opportunity. They might get 1 or 2 games, but to try and impress, it's not easy at all. The nerves can take over. Very, very hard to cement your place in a squad of this quality.
Moses. One of the youngsters who did emerge last season. His senior international debut for France back in the spring. He was part of the squad that won the FIFA Under-20 World Cup back in 2013. What has shown his adaptability, playing in midfield at times for Chelsea last season.
What I do like about Chelsea, they have all these great attacking, creative players, but there's a real solid base to the team as well, with Cahill, Zouma, John Terry, of course. I think you need that if you are to be successful, certainly in the English Premier League and then going into the Champions League. You need a solid defensive base, and Chelsea, they certainly have that with those type of players.
Traore. 34 now, John Terry. Every minute, all 38 Premier League games. Chelsea the champions. Led right from the end of August last year. Comfortable winners. The title with 3 games to go.
So Jose Mourinho out in his technical area. I don't think he's particularly happy with what he's seen so far. He's got to give Red Bulls credit. They have pressed the game. His team have been slightly lethargic, taking too many touches in possession, not really zipping that ball around in the way that he would probably expect his team to do.
Davis. Pass was the wrong one. Stolz was trying to open up and prise away through the Chelsea defence.
Stolz is the one who's trying to get as close as possible to Souness. Just a misunderstanding there, really. The striker wanted the ball into his feet. Stolz had an idea of playing it in behind the 2 centre-halves, and just a miscommunication, really.
Traore. By Overgott. Azpilicueta. Stolz has lost possession. Oscar. Here's Remy. Oscar looking for the free kick, but he's not going to get one.
On 2 occasions there, Roy Milla showing all his experience. He stayed on his feet and he watched the ball. It's absolutely vital for any young defender. These are 2 things absolutely key to do your defensive job properly. Roy Milla did on 2 occasions there. Gets out Chelsea players, 2 different Chelsea players, by just doing that, staying on his feet, watching the ball.
Sonis. Oscar with the back here. Fabregas. Mikel. Moses relishing the chance to be wearing a Chelsea shirt again. 2 years he's had away. One of Liverpool, 1 at Stoke. Maybe a Chelsea free kick. Leiva just clipping Oscar's heels.
I'm not sure that Oscar would have collected this forward pass. It was really gunned at him, and the centre-half was so tight to Oscar. No choice but to foul him. The ball is nowhere near the Brazilian, so really as a centre-half at times you just need to stay away from a striker, let the ball run out of play, you get the ball back, you try and step in there too quickly, giving away a free kick in a really dangerous area here.
Always capable of producing something special. Not this time, not quite.
Well, Oscar's actually expecting Reinisch to move to his left, move across his goal line in behind the wall. Just tries to kid the goalkeeper going back where the keeper was standing, but Reinisch read it, knew exactly what was happening. He'll take the couple of steps to his left, he might have been in trouble, but the shot was wayward anyway.
Oscar missed the last month of last season. The thigh injury which kept him out of the Copa America with Brazil. Brazil did call on Willian.
Different defensive approach here from Chelsea. They're really allowing the Red Bulls to get out to the halfway line, and when they get to the halfway line mark, then they're starting to press the game and win the ball back. As they've done here, the Red Bulls are pressing the Chelsea back 4 every time they have it.
Smart goalkeeping again by Reinisch. It's 20 minutes played and just the 1 shot on target. A shot from Victor Moses, which was turned aside by Kyle Reinisch. Red Bulls not had such a heavy schedule this week. They could have looked at Lloyd Sam, someone who featured in the Premier League once upon a time with Charlton Athletic. Rightfully, it's another one. First yellow card.
That's what we're going to see from both Chelsea's wide players. Traore down the right, Moses down the left. They will come in field and commit defenders. Not the worst tackle you've ever seen, slightly harsh to be booked for that, but the fullbacks, the Chelsea fullbacks, provide the width when those wide players come in field like that.
Caution for Sean Davis. Further anxiety for Reinisch. Fabregas over the free kick. Zuma forward with Cahill. Ivanovic. That was neatly worked by Chelsea and put just wide by Zuma. It was a brilliantly worked free kick by Chelsea, and 2 of their defenders almost creating the opening.
We have to say the Red Bulls defensively here, absolutely shocking. There's no way that Chelsea players should be taking that ball down on the edge of the 6-yard box, considering where the free kick was taken from. There's no communication, organisation. The Red Bulls are very lucky to survive. Zouma will be disappointed he's not nodded that into the far corner.
That's for the Red Bulls.
When defenders come up from the back like Ivanovic and Zouma, you have to be man-marked. You can't allow them just to run away from you so easily and take the ball down like Ivanovic did there and then cross the ball for his defensive teammate. That's far too easy.
Save out of Reinisch.
It's the second occasion he's got the ball out of his feet and got a shot away, but there's not really a lot of options for Traoré when he's in possession here. He's looking maybe for a little 1-2 on the edge of the box. There's no one really showing for him, so he's right to take the shot on, just no real venom in the shot.
Year in charge for Jesse Marsch. Miller. Expression giving nothing away.
I think he had that expression in the tunnel as the referee's trying to get him out of the way so the game could get started. He's very relaxed, bound to be. He's only 20 minutes into his season. So he's going to take some time, of course, for his players to really hit full speed. But you can see there he's out in the technical area, he's directing traffic. He wants certain things done right from the off, and he's absolutely right. That's why he's been a major success at every club he's been at. He's got high demands of his players, and it doesn't matter the occasion, the opposition. He wants them to play the Chelsea way, and that's high-tempo, quality football.
Fabregas. Azpilicueta. Traoré. Ignoring the run of Ivanovic.
And that's why Traoré shows his inexperience. He's got to get his head up. He's got to appreciate Ivanovic has made a 60-yard run. He's got to release the pass.
Now Ivanovic out of position. Stolz.
That's the kind of thing that Jose Mourinho will be looking for from his young players. Have they got that intelligence? It's not just what happens when you've got the ball at your feet. Can you see what's going on around you? And Traoré just only had eyes for the ball, didn't see the right back steaming up alongside him. And you have to be aware at this level of the game, if you're to get opportunities to play for Chelsea, you have to show that awareness.
Bulls.
We saw that Red Bulls lineup. I just wonder whether a lot of the younger players and experienced players would feel overawed by the occasion, but we just simply haven't seen that. They've been really at it for 25 minutes. It's been a very competitive game. Been very impressed with the Red Bulls' performance so far.
Sparkle early on, coming from Overkop. Sun's not afraid to get involved either.
Just shows how progressive the Red Bulls are being, because Roy Miller from left-back has pushed forward time and time again. He's forcing Traore all the way back. It's all stemming from the fact the Red Bulls are keeping the ball well in the Chelsea half, so the fullbacks like Miller can get forward and join in the attacks.
By Moses. He's won the ball back. And now he's been able to pick out Oscar. Remy alongside. It's Remy. It's 1-0 Chelsea. Another quick counter-attack. The Red Bulls will doubtless ask a question or two about whether or not they should have had a free kick. But they were opened up very quickly once Moses took possession and found Oscar.
Yeah, that's the problem. The game gets stretched and you give these Chelsea players some time and space to work in. They have real quality. I thought the chance had gone with Remy. First touch wasn't the greatest, but the important thing is he didn't panic. He just adjusted his body, took an extra touch, and then passed it into the corner. It's a brilliant finish in the end. But this is the problem. I've just been mentioning the Red Bulls' performance has been good so far, but Chelsea, with their quality, their experience, they can punish you within a couple of seconds. You're absolutely right. Maybe there should have been a free kick in there. They didn't get it. Moses forward pass, Oscar picks out Remy, and it's 1-0.
27 minutes gone. Chelsea in front through Loic Remy. Deadline day signing in August of last year from Queen's Park Rangers. Disappointed there is lack of opportunities at Chelsea last season, only 6 starts. Now Chelsea are on the back foot.
That's that finish from Loic Remy. On many occasions, really, you'd see strikers just pivoting, turning and trying to shoot first time, but he just took an extra touch when he knew that first touch wasn't good enough. Just that extra one there just opened the angle up beautifully for him, and that is down to experience and confidence.
Was top scorer last season, 21, 20 in the Premier League. The striker who signed from Atletico Madrid. After a disappointing end to his time in Spain, he pulled up in the UEFA Champions League final with a hamstring injury after less than 10 minutes. Here's Remy. Needs help, and at the moment none is forthcoming. It's been provided now by Ivanovic. Fabregas. He too found himself in a cul-de-sac.
I just mentioned there Roy Miller, the Red Bulls left back. He is very adventurous, loves to go forward every time they're in possession, but with the goal and second occasion there's space in behind him. When they lose the ball, the Red Bulls, Miller is so far up the field, there's acres of space for Chelsea players to burst into. Oscar did that into that area, played the ball into Remy, and Chelsea open the scoring. So the fullbacks, the Red Bulls fullbacks, especially Miller, just have to be careful, pick and choose the times you break forward. You can't go every time your team has the ball.
Remy was among the goals towards the end of last season. Last 5 games, all in the Premier League. Serving as a substitute in a win over Sunderland. The season at that stage was done and dusted, what the Premier League season was. Certainly for Chelsea, the champions.
Talk about the opportunity really for some of these Chelsea young players, but Loic Remy has to take his chance this pre-season as well, because the fully fit Radamel Falcao and Diego Costa are going to make it very, very difficult for Remy to get a game.
Schindler with the contribution as well, just off the front man of the Belgian international, Eden Hazard, the Players' Player of the Year, and also the Football Writers' Player of the Year in England. Azpilicueta. As I was telling the media in the United States yesterday that he doesn't particularly enjoy pre-season training, but I think that was always the case, wasn't it, in your day, Andy?
I think pre-season has trained an awful lot. I think the players play so much football as well internationally, and the Champions League, of course, and the domestic cup competitions in England. They play so much football that really the players don't lose any fitness, I don't feel, over the course of a calendar year.
Red Bulls opened up again. Moses, it's a delightful finish when it should have been off the inside of the post and out. Did everything right then, Moses. But the Red Bulls got lucky, but they're still under pressure. Oscar. Azpilicueta again. Fabregas.
Once again, it's in that area where Roy Miller has vacated. This time Moses gets in. He does everything right, but Loic Remy was caught on his heels. Didn't expect the ball to come back off the post. If he had, and just moved maybe 5 yards forward, he had a tap in.
Remy again. Moses. Obi Macau. Fabregas. Cahill. Now Chelsea with everybody bar their goalkeeper in the opposition half.
This is where the Red Bulls really do have to stand firm. They're a goal down, really under the cosh here. Chelsea will be very patient in possession. They've learned that over the years. So your organisation defensively for the Red Bulls has to be spot on. You have to talk. You can't leave gaps in between players. But Moses does brilliantly here. Does everything right. Loic Remy has to follow this in. Strikers, it's all about instincts, and you see a ball going across the face of goal like that, you've got to expect it's going to come back off the upright. You don't expect it to nestle in that far corner. If Remy had been on his toes, he would have had a second.
Azpilicueta. He's got the free kick. Labour. Stoltz. Easy again for Courtois.
It's a major problem for the Red Bulls, crossing from wide areas. Courtois is a massive goalkeeper. There's Gary Cahill in there as well. Zuma both love to head the ball. It's going to be very difficult for any of those Red Bulls attacking midfielders or to Sonis to get their head on any crosses unless the quality is absolutely spot on.
Oscar. Moses is just as effective on the right as he is on the left. There's a handball by Victor Moses as well as it sprung up between him and Miller.
Well, there's an argument here that it's not intentional from Victor Moses. The ball just bounced up and strikes him on the arm, and in many ways I think he should be allowed to go on. He's not intentionally put his palm on the ball to control it. It's just hit him.
Extra game time, having missed a big chunk of the early part of the season with a knee injury. Given away by Ivanovic. Miller, held back by Kane. Scored in possession. It's the easiest pass that we've seen from Albion Mikel, but Chelsea got away with it. Azpilicueta. Like it's maybe the one problem position that Chelsea do have. Felipe Luis has returned to Atletico Madrid after being away with Brazil at the Copa America. And Azpilicueta, of course, a right-footed player who finds himself playing on the left, but who was able to keep out the recognised left back, with Felipe Luis having joined particularly to fill that role.
We see this happen a lot, really. There's a dearth of quality left-footed, left-hand-sided players, certainly left-back, so managers having to play right-footed players, maybe right-backs or right-hand-sided defenders out there on the left-hand side, because they're simply not the players to go out there and buy.
Remy. Stolz.
We saw in the opening, 15-20 minutes, the Red Bulls really pressing Chelsea when the team in blue had the ball. Now they're just starting to set off a little bit. Maybe that's tiredness or lack of confidence in what they were doing, but this is inevitable really, because Chelsea just grind you down. They keep the ball well, 20 passes or more, eventually you run out of steam. You simply can't close them down for a full 90 minutes.
Touched by Moses. Back with Moses. Azpilicueta. Chelsea free kick, feeling that Traore was fouled. Elbicop. Is Fabregas. Fabregas surrounded by white shirts, but he's still been able to pick out a pass for Remy.
The pace of the game has really dropped, and that suits Chelsea. Of course, they're a goal to the good, and they can just pop this ball around, just take their time and work an opening. If they get a second, you feel that it's going to be a long, long way back for the Red Bulls.
Zuma. Chelsea don't have much of a summer break. They played a couple of games at the end of last season. Thailand, they took on the Thailand All-Stars, they beat them. They also went to Australia to take on Sydney, another 1-0 win. There were internationals both in Europe, South America, and now in Central America, with the Gold Cup being played. It means that the Red Bulls are without one or two regulars. It's a terrific hit that by Traore. And over the top, inexplicably in the end, by Remy.
there's a couple of occasions he's not expected the ball to come his way. Jesse Marsch has made a bit of a defensive switch here. Roy Miller's gone from left-back to a right-hand-sided centre-half, and well, they're all over the place, and well, really a centre-forward of Remy's quality should be tucking that home. But you can see he's caught on his heels. He should be off the ground, side-footing that ball into the back of the net. Should be making it 2-0. It could be game over. He's had opportunities, and that was a clear-cut, golden opportunity for him to grab his second, and just not lively enough.
It's an astonishing miss. He actually made room for himself with a cross, didn't he?
See the Red Bulls coach Jesse Marsch not happy, maybe the fact that Roy Miller kept bursting forward from left back, leaving spaces in behind him, so he's made that switch. Actually, they switched back again, so they're twisting and turning, they're chopping and changing their back four, trying to find a combination that works. The trouble is, the major problem they have, they're struggling to keep possession high up the field. Chelsea keep winning it back, and once the game gets stretched like this, they do have major problems defensively.
Traore on his way. Oscar. They've made the dummy run for him then to try and give Oscar a bit more room to manoeuvre in.
Once Oscar had controlled the ball, the pass was on first time. Once he didn't, he decided not to play that pass. The only thing really left for him was to try and whip it into the top corner. Remy makes his move. The pass is actually blocked off by a centre-half, so he can't play that ball through him. He eventually has to try and move it and try and score himself, and he's way over the bar.
Was in trouble. Obicop can't find the net. Well, what a let-off that was for Chelsea. Should have got a second themselves at the other end, but Remy put his attempt from inside the 6-yard area over the top of the crossbar, and then Courtois taking a bit of a liberty and so nearly being caught out.
Jose Mourinho will not be happy about that at all. Very lethargic from his goalkeeper. Obicop, it's natural really he's going to shoot from there, but I just wonder whether he could have got his head up and laid a pass on to his teammate Dan Bedoya, who would have had a tap in. I'm not sure whether Bedoya would have been offside. Bedoya did well. He actually closed Courtois down. It was just too laboured from the keeper.
I'm sure that Jose Mourinho will at least have a quiet word with his first pick goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois.
Goalkeepers these days, it's not just about making flying saves or collecting crosses, it's about being very nimble with the ball at your feet. You have to get it out of your feet 1 and 2 touches normally. In the middle of a season, if that ball goes back to you, it's 1 touch out your feet, you play it, you don't mess around with it.
And they're going for the elaborate, trying to catch Reinisch off his line, but it was Courtois at the other end who was embarrassed.
I don't think there's any way Obicop can actually play that ball back towards Bedoya. He would be offside. Gaping net, chance to score against Chelsea, the Premier League champions. You're not going to pass it up, but Courtois is lucky.
Miller, the Costa Rican squad at the World Cup finals in Brazil. Service offside. Certainly emerging now for Obicop, who really shouldn't find himself in an offside position there, given that the Red Bulls were able to work the ball through to him with considerable ease.
Well, Chelsea are playing quite a high line here. I'm not sure he is actually offside. To me, Ivanovic is playing him on. A slightly dubious decision.
But plenty of encouragement for the Red Bulls and their coach as they go in at half-time, sticking Chelsea to that 1 goal and maybe feeling that they might have grabbed an equaliser.
And that's the important thing, they're only a goal behind. It could have been 2 or 3.
Jose Mourinho's Chelsea rather ring-rusty in that first half. They had the boost of a goal from Loic Remy after only 27 minutes. Remy squandering a chance to get a second for Chelsea when he somehow kneed the ball over the top of the Red Bulls crossbar from inside the 6-yard area. It's at best an experimental Red Bulls team. They've got the experience of Miller in their lineup. They might have had an equaliser before the break after a slip by Thibaut Courtois, the Chelsea goalkeeper. Then New Jersey, this ICCC fixture. It is the Red Bulls 0, Chelsea 1.